Raven to top it off, so it's working out very nicely for me. Here I should have actually pulled my Banshees back and waited for more reinforcements. He wasn't going to take out this command center at my third, and I knew that it could have taken out a small group of stalkers like that with a very small army. So here I'm just focusing on reestablishing my control on the map, trying to get both the Xel'Naga towers back. I retake the top Xel'Naga tower, and holding the Xel'Naga towers on this map is really important, and it's also really important at this point in the game. I'm using sensor towers. I've placed a sensor tower on the outside of my main base, and I also place another sensor tower up in this region of the map later on in the game, just to get a full spread and make sure that I know of anything that's going to be going on, any warp prisms in the back of my base, something like that, because things like that can really cost you the game and you have to watch out for it. I did not know about this Void Ray tech switch that he had coming. He was chrono boosting Void Rays out of 2 starports. He really caught me off guard with this. And as you'll see, he does a tremendous amount of damage. Once Void Rays just charge up, it's incredibly difficult to deal with. Now, I have a full stack of SCVs repairing this planetary fortress, but there's no chance. Void Rays just annihilate everything on the ground. So here, I only have 1 Viking. I push to his main and start harassing his probes, because I saw that his army was so far out of position going for my gold, and my army was still in that forward position at mid. So what I wanted to do here was just make sure I did as much economic damage as I possibly could, and I also clear out his main, killing all his probes at his main and all his probes at his natural. So I now have 44 harvesters to his 12. I'm still continuing to kill more harvesters in his base with this pack of Hellions that I sent ahead of the rest of my group. He's also attacking my natural expansion at this point, where I've dropped several missile turrets, and I'm scrambling to produce Marines and Vikings to try and get rid of some of these Void Rays. They are just doing tremendous amounts of damage. Still has 5 Void Rays on my front door. And at this point in the game, I was really worried. I just switched all of my production to units that can try and do something about these Void Rays, but I mean, really, there wasn't much I could do other than get out a Viking or 2 and just pray that they didn't get locked on. And you have to be very careful with your Vikings when dealing with Void Rays, especially in a situation like this, because if they lock onto you just for an instant, like we see right here, they will take out your Vikings, so it's something you need to be very careful of. I thought I very well could lose the game here, but I stayed in it, just kept on pumping Marines and Vikings, actually pumped out the tank there. Probably should have kept that back in my main, but in a situation like this, it's very difficult to keep track of things like that when you're fiercely microing your troops, just trying to stay alive. So right now, my thought process is, even if I lose my natural, I still have 47 harvesters to his 15, so I can get back in this game much quicker than he can. And I can also continue to produce units for a lot longer than he can. So if I can stem this last attack, I'll be in a great position to win this game. Even though I still lost all these harvesters at my natural, I'm still up 40 to 20. So I have a 2-to-1 harvester lead on him. And now I'm actually starting to macro up a pretty decently sized army in my main. Just making sure to babysit these Vikings at every opportunity I have, because if I lose them, really, there's nothing to stop these Void Rays from just absolutely ravaging my base. He actually pushes up to my mid position here and takes out these 2 tanks, and I seize this as my opportunity to run out with a small group of Hellions and continue my Hellion harass, which was working so well for me earlier on in the game. He's just starting to get back in this game economically, so sending these 4 Hellions out is going to force him to, well, A, lose some more probes, and also pull most of his probes off of minerals. He actually gets out a sentry and force fields the ramp, which is a great play on his part. He's sending some of his forces back right now to deal with these Hellions. Gets another force field off. Keeps my Hellions at bay and prevents them from getting into his main base. So great play by Jianfei right there. Now at this point we're both just crippled and trying to get back in this game, but I've been macroing up an army back at my main base this entire time. And I feel at this point that I have enough to deal with his army. I've seen his army, I have an idea of what he has left, and I know that what I have can take care of it. He also makes a bit of a mistake right here, sending his units up a little too far, losing a stalker and getting that other stalker wounded, but at a point like this in a game where you've both wounded each other so badly, it's very important that you keep all of your remaining units alive and together, and you can't make mistakes like that because it can easily cost you a game. Now he's continuing to build Void Rays, which I don't think was a good idea on his part. I think he should have tried to transition maybe into High Templar or some other unit, because once you know the Void Ray switch has been made and you start to counter it and you start to mass produce Vikings, Marines, and Hellions, right now I've got 3 factories, 2 starports, 2 Raxes, just pumping out Marines, Vikings, Hellions, and tanks. I'm not a bit of anything he has on the ground, and hopefully anything he has on the air. So right now I'm just really focusing on microing my Vikings. I've been saying that all game long, and when you have a small Viking count versus a small Void Ray count, it's really important to micro your Vikings and babysit your Vikings as much as possible. Because if you lose them, odds are you're probably going to lose the game. You cannot kill those Void Rays. Once they charge up, they will just level your entire army and your base. So, very important to deal with them. Now I seize this opportunity to push to his side of the map, take out his 3rd here, and then I proceed to just push straight onto his natural. Right now I feel like I have the upper hand. I still have 38 harvesters to his 26. I have a decent lead in the income tab. And really I've just been spending all those extra minerals I've had. Now at the end here I know he has no air left, so I land all my Vikings. And I land for a final aggressive push on his natural. I definitely have enough units here to take this out. Heat Guardian shields, pushes in. My units are actually forming a firing line and not letting the units in the back in, so I decided to scoot them up a little bit in the middle of the fight. And Jianfei GG's out. So that is how you deal with the Void Ray switch in a TVP. And I hope you guys enjoyed this analysis. Stay tuned to Strat Bunker, www.stratbunker.com. We're going to be fully releasing soon, and lessons are going to be available for everyone. And we're also going to have several different instructors with all the races covered. And look for more guides coming soon from other instructors. I know Deloven has already uploaded a Protoss guide of him versus Jinro. So, yeah, stay tuned, guys, and hope you enjoyed it. PainUser signing out.